Call me crazy. I will explain, but one day you're gonna die, and one day I'm gonna die, and that's a great thing. Okay, there's this big misconception a lot of people have, and I'm gonna assume for this video that you want to make money, that you want to be successful, that you want to be happy, so on and so forth. This is gonna be one of the best things you'll ever hear, okay? Because here's the truth about the whole concept of death. Death is something that when you haven't fully aligned yourself with your deepest sense of self, because think about it, are we animals? Are we just animals? If you're like completely brain dead and brainwashed, you might think we're like the product of a bunch of monkeys having butt sex. But if you're someone who's not dumb, okay, someone who's enlightened, so to speak, you'll understand that we all have like this, and we have an animalistic side. We also have a spiritual side, we have a deeper emotional side. We can do things that animals don't with our minds. That's a big difference. We have imagination, stuff like that, right? So we have a combination of an animal nature and a spiritual nature, right? And that's what makes humans special. Humans are the only ones with the spiritual nature of all of creation. Well, I guess angels do, but you know what I mean, right? The people that you could see on Earth, that you could think of. So given that, what you have to do is you have to not do what a lot of people say and fully identify with the spiritual nature, because that's denial of yourself. In the sense that you were made a human, you've been put into the human world, but now you're gonna like deny your humanity. You shouldn't deny your humanity. What you're trying to do, and a lot of people say like, oh, deny yourself. In the sense of don't sin, that's a good idea, but you sin more when you try to deny yourself. What you should try to do is try to purify yourself, which is the whole point of Jesus coming. The whole point of Jesus Christ coming was so that we can be purified in our human bodies. That's why God became a man, bro. To redeem humanity, humans, right? There's this weird desire for a lot of Christians to like hate their humanity. It's like, well, God became a human. God created humans, okay, for a reason. So you're human, that's a good thing. But here's the thing. You're in a damaged state. You're in a fallen state. You need Jesus to purify it. And in order to do that, you have to get your spiritual nature, commune that with God, and then use that spiritual nature to begin the purification of the human nature. So taking your sexual impulses and transmuting them towards better things. This isn't going to be a whole video on transmutation, but I want to set the groundwork to understand that there's something higher than our mere humanity. Now, when the human body decays and the human body leaves, it's not the end. Okay, it's not the end of your life. Because there's life after death. It's the whole point of the gospel. It's the whole point of Jesus' story. And from a productivity standpoint, that's a great thing. Because like I said earlier, you can't love someone unless you can live without them by yourself and not feel bad. And that seems counterintuitive, but here's the reason why. If you love someone on necessity, like you feel like you need them, is that really love? Right? Because then it's not by choice. The whole point of humans having free will is so we can choose to love. If it's not a choice, and in this sense it's a bit different, but if you love someone out of necessity, like you feel the need to love them, and not from like a genuine place. The way to figure out is let's think of it, and it's a bit different for women, but I'm talking about men. If you're in this position of, well, could I be alone and be okay? And you say no, you don't really love the individual. You're using them to cope for yourself. So in the same way, to do the best you can possibly can in this human life, which, it's going to include making money, it's going to include getting a nice wife, if you're not, like, going to take the monk route. It does include becoming intelligent. It does include all these different things. But ultimately, if you understand there's more to life than those things, and that's not where you're going to live and die on, you get into the state of being able to choose. And when you're able to choose, you're able to give yourself all into it. And when you do that, that's when you get the best results. Okay? I know, like, all the people I work with, they always tell me the same thing. Oh, man, when I don't like the girl, I do so well with them, but I like the girl, I can't. It's for the same reason. Okay? If you feel like you need something, you can't give all of yourself to it. Okay? You need to be in the state of being able to choose it and being okay within yourself. Because we can be okay within ourselves because we believe in God, Jesus. And ultimately, that's our foundation, that's our bedrock. And now, if at the end of the day, if it's our time to leave the earth, then it's our time to leave the earth. There's something more to it. The second you can say that and feel comfortable, and not to say that there won't be any difficulty in that. I mean, obviously, death can be painful. I mean, if you can get your head chopped off, that's not desirable, obviously. But if you can get that state where you can start becoming comfortable with it, and you start understanding it more, you'll be in a position to put yourself more, put more of yourself into life. And when you can do that, that's when you get the best results. So one day you're going to die. That's great.